You see, whenever they want to cross the line, they use a black face to do it. As I've been telling people before, this whole Obama shit, everything they do is a metaphysical attack on black leadership because there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else to hand ownership of the nation to. And they knew that after 9/11 and after the whole run that Bush had, that white people had totally fucked up their political representation, their political representation and reputation. And the only way to salvage white supremacy was by destroying the image of black people because there was no one else to hand this nation over to, and we are the only other original people and natural people here. you know um we black people in America are the only ones who can't be deported. That's why they have to send them to jail. um Understanding and overstanding the simple fact that we are not Americans, we are natural people. We have the natural rights, the natural rights, the man's natural rights to the land. And like I say, whenever they want to cross the line, they use a black face to do it. Just like how they had Gabrielle Union on Being Single with Mary Jane, the whole Being Single with Mary Jane TV show, and they had her finna go out on a date, and she uses a vibrator and washes her pussy over the sink, before she goes out. There's no other time on TV where you've ever seen a woman wash her pussy over the sink, use a vibrator and wash her pussy over the sink before she goes out. No time ever on cable television have they ever showed you that. Just like the TV show The Wire. Everyone was up in arms about The Wire and how good The Wire was, but never before in world history have you seen a TV show where they showed our youth, where they showed the youth selling drugs to its own community and things like that, showing this to the world. And just like with this whole Obama thing, now since they have a quote unquote black president, now they're making the most executive orders that you've ever seen, and they're cutting more budgets and cutting more taxes, and they're cutting more budgets for schools than you've ever seen. So this is exactly what we're talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about tarnishing the image of black people and shaming the image of African people in America. Sacrificing the image of African people in America for white preservation and for um, white supremacy. The confidence of white supremacy, because they understand that they are due for genetic annihilation. They are due for genetic annihilation, and as an attempt to, kind of repel and dilute this this scheduled genetic annihilation, they have all of these tactics of Ebola, of course, AIDS first, syphilis, you know, um, letting off this officer in Ferguson. All these things are showing you, and just the simple fact that you know white people, that their flesh isn't crawling from an officer killing someone and getting off. Black people shouldn't have to be the ones upset about that. That should be nature. That shouldn't even have to be explained. The question should be, why in the hell isn't everyone else uh, perplexed and upset and concerned about this and showing grand concern about this? That's my question. Like I was telling people, I don't know if y'all study Hitler. I don't know if y'all know anything really about Hitler. But Hitler and Mussolini both used the Holy Bible to, justify their actions. Justify their actions. So for all of the people, especially African people in America, the first four books of the Bible came out of Africa. There are only four books of Christ in the Bible. The whole story of the Christ is an African prophecy. The 400 years is an African prophecy. Understand and overstand. Understand and overstand that the Bible is absolutely nothing without the prophecy of the 400 years and the prophecy of Heru, who they call Christ now, and which is us. We are the Heru people, the hero people. The word Heru ultimately becoming hero, one that saves, savior, all of the same thing. But since we don't know etymology, ancient etymology, and just the breakdown of our own English language, these are interpretations that we may miss out on for general on a general level. So I just wanted to really just kick that to y'all, just for the world to understand everything that they're doing is to shame black people and to tarnish the leadership and the messiahship, the Messiah that is to come, the Messiah out of black people, you know. And that's what they call hitting in plain sight. Like I said, man, the word Jesus spells just us. Just us. And Jesus is supposed to be justice when he comes. Justice even spells just us still. And that's what you call hitting in plain sight. So, my brothers and sisters, there's much more that we can go over. I just want to drop that science on you right quick, man. Peace and blessings. And that's another thing I wanted to say too, is we constantly feeding into Western culture. Feeding into Western culture, the original people feeding into Western culture. It is the Adam and Eve concept. The world will continue falling as long as we continue feeding into Western culture and going for the bullshit they have fed us all the way. Even now, we're still feeding into this lie. Literally, this Thursday, black people will be feeding into the lie by commemorating Thanksgiving, which is something that was a savage act. It was a massacre. Thanksgiving was a massacre where the native people of this land fed the Europeans because the Europeans were going to starve through the winter, and through this act of benevolence, they saved the Europeans by feeding them, and as an act of thanks, how sick, as an act of thanks, they killed the Indians. They turned around and killed the Indians, just like the Boston Tea Party. Where they dressed up as Indians and went on the boat and killed people and called it a party. Killed people and called it a party. Just like they killed people and said thanks for letting me take your land. It's a sick thing. So this is the psychology that America was born into. And I heard it was a guy earlier where I posted a status and I said it's for sure that America is an all-out Hitler society for sure now. And I can guarantee you that the numbers that of deaths that America is responsible for of innocent people has totally surpassed Hitler and the things that the Germans did in the time. And someone came on my status and tried to disagree, where if you do your research, if you just go from American slavery, from American slavery on African peoples for those 400 years to the decimation and destruction of the native peoples and genocide of native peoples, and when you take into account crack being introduced to the ghettos of Los Angeles, California by the CIA, 9/11, Pearl Harbor. The United States has surpassed Hitler a while back. And even true true Holocaust survivors have paralleled this and analogized it as such. So that's all I wanted to drop, man. And love is the number one key. Love will tank this system right now. If we begin loving and caring and respecting each other, that will begin a new world right now, wherever you are, no matter what. So this has been a PSA from yours truly, Prophet Amen Williams. Brothers and sisters, be safe, blessed, stay tuned in. Cheers.